Hi, this is Ennis from Never Stop Trucking. Today we're talking about trucking safety. The Lanier Law Firm, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, but they were nice enough to send me this flyer and they asked me to share it on my website, which I will do. I will also share the link to it in description of this video. But there are 50 safety tips here, and I'm going to spread them out in a few videos because I think it will be too long to talk about all of them in one video. So I will read them all and I will add something to them because this is a very good list. This is a very professionally done list with a lot of details in mind, and this is not done by someone that does not have any experience with this. It's obvious that someone who knows what they're saying and what they're doing has put a lot of work into this, and this deserves to be read and explained online. And like I said, I'll add some comments on my own to this list. So let's start with the first tip. First tip is wear your seat belt. So everyone knows that. It's a very important tip. It says your seat belts save lives, and the laws in many states require you to wear seat belts. Don't give police officers an excuse to pull you over because you aren't wearing a seat belt. And I just want to add something to it. A long time ago when I was driving, I was in Dallas, Texas, and they pulled me over for not wearing a seat belt even though I was wearing the seat belt. I had a light colored shirt on me and the seat belt was black, so it was very visible, okay? And then the officer came to me, and I think that day they were just trying to fill some quotas for that day, and he pulled me over, and then he found something about a mud flap. But anyway, the seat belt was on me the whole time, and what he said, well, maybe I didn't see it, maybe you were wearing it incorrectly. And he said, like, I'm just gonna put it down that you you were wearing it incorrectly, and that's what it did. But still, it shows on my record as not wearing a seatbelt, even though I did. So they can say whatever they want, unless you have one of those cameras that record you and then that show that. I see some companies having neon colored seat belts like Schneider. I think they have orange seat belts or something that goes over the seat belt, or light green, like or yellowish color, and then you just put it on that, and then they can see that you're actually wearing it. But like I said, if they want to say something, they will make it up if they can, because it's what it is. Second tip is avoid distractions and cell phone use. If you need to send a text, read a text, or make a phone call, pull over and stop first. Anything that causes you to take your eyes off the road is dangerous. When you're driving a multi-ton truck, you want to avoid anything that might cause an accident. And then not to forget that DOT has big, hefty fines for holding your phone and using it while driving a commercial vehicle. It's thousands of dollars for you, and then even more for the trucking company you're driving for. So don't do that. And especially with a big rig, you're like a couple of seconds off of the road, and you don't know what can happen in front of you. So if you're a driver, please don't use your cell phone like that while you're driving. Use hands-free, use your Bluetooth, and use voice commands. Okay. Next tip is follow the hours of service rules. FMCSA rules require that you take at least a 30-minute break after 8 cumulative hours of driving, and require that you are off duty for at least 10 hours a day. Breaking those rules causes fatigue, which could increase the potential for accidents. These are only minimum requirements. The more breaks you take, the safer you will be. I know some people that will say, well, I don't need that break. I can drive, as long as I want without a 30-minute break. But even though you think you don't need it, your body still needs it, no matter how young or old you are, no matter how fit you are, you still need a break. And with ELDs, it's practically impossible to cheat on hours of service anymore. There are still ways, and I know those ways, how drivers do them. I don't want to say them here. but everyone will always find something to do it, but it's not worth it, because someone can be injured or killed, someone can go to jail, get big fines if something happens. So just don't do it. It's not worth it. Next tip is defensive driving. Stay aware of your surroundings at all times and drive predictably. You can't control other drivers, but you can reduce the likelihood that they will strike your truck if you drive carefully. I always try to drive defensive, even in my car, let alone in a truck. Now, when we are talking about the cars, let's just talk a little bit about small cars. If you're driving defensive and like it says here, predictably, so this is very important, because this other people can predict what your next move is going to be. Experienced drivers can always predict what the person in front of you or next to you or behind you will do next. You just watch what they're doing, you follow the patterns, and then you can kind of sense that that they're going to turn or stop or speed up. Okay, now if you play their game, then you can get into an accident easily. But if you give them room, okay, like they're about to do something stupid, and if you give them room, if you move, if you brake down a little bit, move to a different lane, then you're avoiding a potential accident, okay, for your own good. It doesn't matter whose fault it is, even if it's their fault, then, why would you want to be in an accident, okay? Especially now, if you're in a big truck, everyone expects you to be the professional, to take it slowly, to be very careful, even though you can't see all the way around your truck. It's very hard to see, but the people in small cars, they don't realize that, they don't know that. And yes, most of the times the truckers are right, but these people in small cars, they don't know, they don't care about trucks. They think like, because you're high up there, you can see everything, and that somehow you are supposed to watch for them, even though you can't stop as fast, you can't speed up as fast, you can't maneuver as fast. They don't know any of that, so it's on us to be careful. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of videos on YouTube where truckers are, like they have dash cams, and then someone in front of them is brake checking, whatever they call it, and just like pulling in front of them and stopping in front of them really suddenly so they can hit them, doing stupid things, and then driver hits them, and then it's the car's fault, okay, because he has it on the dash cam. Okay, but why would you want to do that? Why, like you are, if it's your truck, you're going to be out of service, you're going to have repairs, trouble, maybe someone will get hurt. If it's your company's truck, even worse, you're damaging someone else's property on purpose. It doesn't matter if the car in front of you, if it's their fault, that doesn't matter. You could have stopped and not do it and prevented all this trouble from happening, but no, you want to make a point, and that's really stupid. I see those videos a lot. And then most of these videos don't show what happened before. It doesn't really matter what happened. It's not okay to do that with a small car, but still, like if you can see, and I had this long time ago, this one driver had a camera in his truck. It was my truck, it was a company truck, and he did this in Illinois. Someone pulled in front of them, suddenly slammed the brakes, and the driver hit them. The police came over. And when the police looked at the dash cam video, they said, well, it's not my truck driver's fault. But guess what? Now the truck has to go to a shop to repair, body shop, lose time, not work. And the driver was all proud to show me, like, hey, like, look, what happened, and it's his fault, and I got him. Well, yes, you got him, but you could have stopped. You didn't even try to stop. So anyway, be careful what's happening around you, and if you can drive slowly and drive defensive and give everyone else room when the minute you see they're doing something stupid, give them some room, and then just stay away from them. It will be better for everyone. Next one, watch your blind spots. According to a study performed at the University of Michigan, most fatal crashes that involve heavy trucks are not the trucker's fault. No matter what some people might say, most of these accidents are not at truckers' fault. Unfortunately, this just means you need to be extra aware of reckless drivers. By regularly checking your mirrors, you can maintain awareness of the vehicles driving near your truck and take appropriate action. So every time you're in a big truck or even in your car, you should always check your mirrors. All the mirrors, keep checking them, and always know where you are, what your surroundings are. Even when you're driving, read all the signs, traffic signs, of course, even billboards, everything around you, like where you are, services. You don't know if you're gonna need a service down the road. Mile markers, where you are, signs, speed limits, advertisements. Read everything. Make sure you know where you are. Also, watch the vehicles driving, next to you. Like if a car goes fast by you, a truck, everything. Make sure you pick up as much information as you can, and that way you know where you are. You know what's going on. You can predict what's gonna happen next, and if something happens, then you know what happened for the last 5-10 minutes. Next tip, keep lane changes to a minimum. Lane changes have the potential to be quite dangerous, particularly if a vehicle has slipped into a blind spot. You should change lanes as little as possible and always signal well in advance of making a lane change. This gives other vehicles plenty of time to get out of your way. Now, if you're driving a small car, you know that most people, a lot of people are not using their turn signal. They forget, they don't care, they want you to do something fast, they don't have a habit of doing it. But you, as a truck driver, you have to do it. You have a big rig, you have to signal everyone ahead what you're going to be doing. And in a small car, you can change lanes quickly. In a big truck, you can't do that. You can't make a sudden turn. You have to, well before you're about to turn, you have to let everyone know that you're going to turn, for example, left. You're turning left, turn on the left signal, check the mirrors a couple of times. There is nothing. And then if there's nothing, then slowly, go to your left lane while checking the left mirrors. Maybe even on an occasion check the right mirror, see if someone is trying to pass you over on the right, because people tend to do that. In case you have to go back for some reason to the right lane, you know that what's going on in your right hand lane. So you always, it's like a slow process. Driving a truck is very slow. So that means that even changing lanes has to be a process for itself. And don't, like it says here, don't change lanes if you don't have a reason. There is no need. Like, you're not gonna gain much if you're stuck in traffic and you see that left lane is moving, and then you go to the left lane and then you notice the right lane is moving, you go back. That doesn't make sense. They're eventually going to even out, and especially if you're a big truck, just wait and be patient. That's how our job is. Number 7 here, be aware of local laws. Traffic laws change with every state you drive through. Familiarize yourself with any laws that specifically affect you before entering a state. If you are unsure, be conservative, drive slowly, and stay in the right lane as much as possible. Stay in the right lane. Here in Michigan, they don't have signs that say trucks cannot go into the third left lane. Usually they don't have signs, but there is a law like that, and I found out that the hard way. Okay, so every state has different laws, especially as far as trucks go, and that can be the weight limits, the axle spread limit. Like, for example, on your trailer, where the rear axles, the only axis on your trailer, where they can be positioned, how far from the kingpin, how far from the tandems on your tractor. So like Michigan has different rules for that. Okay, Maryland has different rules for that. California has different rules for that. There is this Atlas, Road McNally Atlas, the big one, the thick one. It has all the rules for each state, all the axles, the weights, and all that. But even as with traffic laws, the speed limits, where a truck can be, does the truck have to go right away to the back, to the right lane? You have to. Well, it's hard to familiarize yourself with every state, especially every city. But if you go often, someplace, try to do that, because it will save you money, for potential tickets. Next one, use GPS units for tracking. Google Maps is an excellent resource for regular drivers, but truck drivers should not rely on a car GPS. A truck GPS is specially designed to choose routes that will accommodate the height and weight of your vehicle, and this is true. I also agree with this. I know a lot of truck drivers use Google Maps, and that's okay to use them to give them the miles or the hours of how much they need to go from point A to point B. But once you get off of the highway and you're in the city, then Google Maps will not tell you about the bridges, about the truck restrictions, about the routes and all that. So it's best to use a GPS that is designed for truckers. I will also add to this that there are some states who have special maps just for them. They can be found online on their DOT's website, like Pennsylvania, for example. And also Pennsylvania has a paper map with all the truck routes. And I know when I was driving, that paper map helped me a lot. And I think you can get it for free if you stop at one of their service areas, like rest areas that have, service information. You can get that map, I think, for free, or you can even order it online. But anyway, and a lot of states have maps designed just for that, for truck-related information, truck routes, the bridge heights, hills, mountains, things like that. Okay, and then one more for this time: drive at a safe speed, because you have a schedule to keep. You might feel tempted to speed, but you'll lose a lot more time if the police pull you over for speeding. Stay under posted truck speed limits at all times. Be aware that you will need to slow down even more when going downhill, because your truck will naturally speed up. I know there are drivers who like to go over the speed limit, by like 2 or 3 or 5. I know some drivers, like if they're rushing to a pickup or deliver, they will speed, and I always advise not to do that, not just because of police, also something might happen. I think that getting a speeding ticket as a truck driver carries same weight as placed out of service on the records for your CSA records for the trucking company you drive for. So if you get a speeding ticket, they will get a lot of points for that, and that's not good. Okay, so you can get in an accident, you can get a ticket, your trucking company can get points as well, and we don't want any of that. You might arrive like 5 minutes early, but the chances are that if you get pulled over, then you'll stay there for like 30 minutes, while the officer is writing a ticket, and then you will definitely be late. Thanks for watching, and then I'll have more tips coming to you soon. I'll spread these into more videos, like I said. Come back for more, and I'll see you around.